Have you seen those videos online? The ones that promise a miracle cure for everything? They hit you with big, bold claims like 90% of diseases will just disappear. Or reverse your memory loss with this one simple trick. And my personal favorite, watch cancer cells die naturally. Sounds amazing, right? But then they dropped the hammer. The one phrase designed to make you believe anything. This is according to a Nobel Prize-winning doctor. It's a powerful statement. It makes you think, wow, if a Nobel laureate said it, it must be true. It makes you wonder if modern science has been hiding a simple secret to perfect health all this time. Maybe there's a conspiracy to keep us all sick? Or could it be that these claims are just a little exaggerated? Maybe they're twisted and taken out of context just to get more views and clicks. That's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We're going to cut through the noise, look past the clickbait headlines, and get to the real science. No fear-mongering, no false hope, and absolutely no misinformation. We'll analyze some of the most popular viral health claims you've probably seen a dozen times in your feed. Let's start with the big one. The idea that starving your body or autophagy can make cancer cells die. The science that won the Nobel Prize was about how cells recycle their own components. It's a fundamental process absolutely crucial for our health. But the research was done on yeast cells in a lab, not on human cancer patients. To jump from yeast cell recycling to curing cancer in humans is a massive leap that the actual scientific evidence just doesn't support. Yes, autophagy is important, but it's not a magic cancer cure you can trigger by skipping a meal. And what about those claims of reversing Alzheimer's or making 90% of diseases vanish? Often, these videos cherry-pick one small finding from a huge body of complex research. They ignore the nuances, the limitations, and the fact that our bodies are incredibly complicated. There's rarely a single simple fix for complex diseases. True medical breakthroughs are the result of decades of rigorous, peer-reviewed research, not a 60-second viral video. So the next time you see a video promising a miracle cure, especially one name-dropping a Nobel Prize winner, be skeptical. Ask questions. Look for the original research, not just the sensationalized summary. Real health advice comes from qualified professionals who understand your individual situation. It's not as exciting as a miracle cure, but it's the real path to better health. Have you ever scrolled through your feed and seen a video claiming that a Nobel Prize-winning secret can cure all your health problems? Maybe it's a list of 5 superfoods or a special morning routine. And let's be honest for a second, you probably thought, could this be real? Don't feel bad if you did. There's a powerful psychological reason these claims are so convincing. Our brains are wired to seek simple solutions to complex problems. When we're faced with scary, complicated things like chronic illness, cancer, or Alzheimer's, the reality can be overwhelming. Modern medicine is amazing, but it can also be expensive, slow, and the outcomes aren't always certain. So when someone pops up on our screen, maybe even wearing a white coat, and says, "Just do this one simple thing and you'll be healthy forever," our brains latch onto that. It's a feeling of relief. This isn't about being naive. It's about being human. These viral videos are expertly crafted, whether intentionally or not. They tap into our deepest fears about getting sick, and they offer a tantalizing ray of hope. They often throw around big, scientific-sounding words and mention authority figures to seem credible. This mix of fear, hope, and pseudo-authority is a potent combination that's hard to resist. But let's take a step back and ask a crucial question. What does winning a Nobel Prize actually mean in the context of science and medicine? When you look at the real Nobel laureates, you'll find they're not creating diet plans for the internet. These are dedicated scientists who have spent their entire lives in a lab, sometimes for decades, making fundamental discoveries. The Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine is awarded for incredibly specific breakthroughs. We're talking about things like discovering the intricate ways our cells talk to each other, figuring out the mechanics of how our immune system identifies threats, or mapping the behavior of our genes. These are the building blocks of medical knowledge. They are not direct prescriptions for what you should eat for breakfast. So where does the confusion come from? Often, marketers or content creators will take a tiny piece of a real Nobel Prize-winning discovery, stretch it, twist it, and exaggerate it until it's completely unrecognizable. They might take a complex finding about cellular autophagy and turn it into a claim that fasting cures everything according to a Nobel Prize winner. They're borrowing the authority of the Nobel Prize to sell you an idea, a product, or just to get your views. It creates a dangerous illusion, making something that is pure marketing seem like established scientific fact. Have you ever scrolled online and seen a video claiming that 90% of all diseases can just disappear? It sounds amazing, right? But let's take a closer look at that claim. Is it actually true? The short answer is no, and here's why. Diseases are incredibly complex. They don't come from just one place. Think about it. Some diseases are genetic, passed down through our families. Others are caused by infections from bacteria or viruses. Then you have environmental factors, like toxins in the air or water. And of course, the natural process of aging brings its own set of health challenges. Now, don't get me wrong, lifestyle choices are super important. Eating a healthy diet, getting regular exercise, and managing stress can absolutely reduce your risk for many conditions, like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Making positive changes can have a massive impact on your well-being. But the idea that 90% of all diseases will simply vanish is not backed by any real medical evidence. Even the healthiest person on the planet can still get sick. Our bodies are biological wonders, not machines with a simple on-off switch. So focus on healthy habits, but be wary of promises that sound too good to be true. Alright, let's talk about another common claim. Can a special food instantly fix your memory? You've probably seen those videos promising a miracle cure for forgetfulness. But memory is just as complex as any other part of our health. Memory loss isn't a single thing. It can be a symptom of many different issues. Sometimes it's caused by stress or not getting enough sleep. Other times it could be linked to depression, vitamin deficiencies, or even a brain injury. And of course, there are serious neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Each of these causes needs a very different approach. While no single food can magically restore your memory overnight, there are definitely things you can do to support your brain health. Getting consistent sleep is crucial. Regular physical exercise gets blood flowing to your brain. Challenging your mind with puzzles or learning a new skill helps build new connections. Staying social and eating a balanced diet rich in nutrients are also key. If you are experiencing memory loss, recovering your memory is often a slow, gradual process, and it's best to work with a healthcare professional. Let's talk about something really serious. Cancer. You've probably heard people say things like, cancer is just one disease, but that's just not true. There are actually over 200 different types of cancer. It's a super complex group of diseases. So how does it even start? Well, it's not one single thing. Cancer cells can develop because of a mix of factors. Think about genetic mutations, which can be inherited or happen over time. Or DNA damage, which can come from things in our environment. Long-term inflammation in the body is another big factor, and sometimes, it's because our own immune system fails to spot and destroy these rogue cells. Now, let us get to a huge myth I see all over the internet. The idea that certain foods can kill cancer cells in your body. I'm going to be really clear about this. Food alone cannot cure cancer. It's just not how it works. However, this is super important. Our lifestyle choices absolutely influence our cancer risk. We know for a fact that things like smoking and obesity significantly increase the risk of developing many types of cancer. Chronic inflammation is another major player that can raise your risk. So where does food fit into this picture? Food can be an amazing ally. A healthy diet can be a powerful tool for cancer prevention. It can also support your body while it's undergoing medical treatment, helping you stay strong and manage side effects. But let me say it again. Food supports, it helps prevent, but it is not a cure. You've definitely seen the viral videos about so-called anti-cancer foods. They always mention things like turmeric, garlic, green tea, broccoli, and blueberries. And look, these foods are fantastic for you. They're packed with compounds like antioxidants, which are great because they help fight something called oxidative stress in our bodies. This reduces inflammation and supports our overall health. But here's the crucial part. Eating antioxidants is not the same as undergoing chemotherapy. Chemo is designed to specifically target and destroy fast-growing cancer cells. The compounds in broccoli or green tea, as beneficial as they are, don't have that superpower. They don't selectively hunt down and eliminate cancer cells. So enjoy these healthy foods as part of a balanced diet. They're wonderful for your well-being. But please don't ever believe they are a substitute for proven medical treatments. Always trust the advice of healthcare professionals. Have you ever scrolled through your feed and seen a video claiming a single food can cure a serious illness? Or that avoiding one specific ingredient will solve all your health problems? It's everywhere. And you might wonder, why do these videos get so many shares? Why do people believe them? The answer is actually quite simple. They offer hope. When you or someone you love is sick, it's easy to feel completely powerless, lost in a sea of complex medical terms and uncertain outcomes. Then a video pops up. It's clear, it's simple, and it offers a straightforward solution. Just eat this. Just avoid that. Suddenly you have a sense of control again. You have an action you can take, a clear path forward. This promise of control is incredibly powerful and deeply appealing. It feels like a lifeline. But here's the danger. This sense of control is often an illusion. Relying on unproven cures can lead people to delay or even refuse legitimate medical treatment. And when you're dealing with a serious condition, that delay can have devastating, sometimes fatal, consequences. The false hope they sell can end up costing someone their life. It's a tragic trade-off for a fleeting feeling of certainty. So how can you protect yourself and your loved ones from falling into this trap? How do you spot health misinformation before it does any harm? It's all about asking the right questions. Before you believe or share any health claim you see online, take a moment and be a detective. First, ask yourself, is this claim backed by solid, peer-reviewed scientific research? A single study isn't enough. We're talking about a body of evidence, published in reputable scientific journals. If the video just mentions studies, without linking to them or naming them, that's a big red flag. Second, are multiple independent experts in that specific field agreeing with this? Not just one doctor with a flashy social media presence, but a consensus within the broader medical community. If only one person is making a revolutionary claim that no one else supports, you should be skeptical. Third, and this is a huge one, is the video trying to sell you something? A supplement, a special diet plan, a book, a consultation? If the advice is directly tied to a product, their primary goal might be profit, not your health. Be very wary of advice that comes with a price tag. Finally, does it promise guaranteed miraculous results? Science is a slow, careful process. It rarely deals in absolutes. Real medical advice is often nuanced and personalized. Misinformation, on the other hand, is almost always loud, confident, and promises a quick fix for everyone. If it sounds too good to be true, it almost certainly is. Remember, science is cautious, while misinformation is confident. Asking these simple questions can help you tell the difference. So after all this talk about health trends and miracle cures, what does modern science actually recommend? Well, you might be surprised to hear that it's not some hidden secret or complex formula. In fact, it's probably things you've heard your whole life because they work. First, eat a balanced diet. That means plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. It's about nourishing your body with what it needs, not about extreme restrictions or fad diets. Next, get moving. Regular exercise is crucial. We're not talking about running a marathon every day. It could be a brisk walk, a bike ride, dancing in your living room, or finding a sport you love. The key is consistency. Just find something you enjoy and stick with it. It does wonders for your physical and mental health. Then there's sleep. It's not a luxury. It's a biological necessity. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. This is when your body repairs itself, consolidates memories, and recharges for the next day. Skimping on sleep can have serious consequences for your health, so make it a priority. Of course, we have to talk about what to avoid. It's no secret that smoking is incredibly harmful and excessive alcohol consumption can lead to a host of problems. Moderation and making smart choices here are absolutely key to long-term health. Another huge one is managing stress. Chronic stress can wreak havoc on your body, affecting everything from your immune system to your heart. Find healthy ways to cope, whether it's through meditation, hobbies, spending time in nature, or talking to a friend. If stress feels overwhelming, please don't hesitate to seek professional help. And finally, regular medical checkups. These aren't just for when you're sick. They are vital for prevention and early detection. Your doctor is your partner in health, so keep them in the loop. The truth is, there are no shortcuts. There are no miracle pills. Building a healthy life takes consistent effort and smart choices, not a secret handshake. So let's bring it all home. Your health is not a secret hidden in the depths of YouTube. Doctors are not part of a grand conspiracy to hide miracle cures, and scientists are not suppressing simple answers for their own gain. The truth is often less exciting than a viral video, but it is far, far more reliable. The real path to health is built on well-established principles, not on quick fixes. Be informed, Be critical of the content you consume. And please, never ever replace professional medical advice with a video you saw online. Your well-being is too important for that. Thank you so much for watching.